Is it working? Okay.
Gillian Gibbon disappeared briefly as she was named
Heard a thing from her recently.
The euro is standing at $1 American dollar 47 cents, and the pound is worth 16 Hong Kong dollars and 7 cents. And that's the news from RTHK.
Live across Hong Kong.
You just joined us, a very good morning to you. Happy Friday. Got to say good morning or good evening to anybody who's listening to us on the internet right now. It's rthk.org.hk, and we're in glorious Technicolor as well. I want to say hi to Wera, Cedrell, Dave Marash, Don North, Mary Kay Magistad, and Peter Arnett. Good to see you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm not going to read the resumes here, so I wonder if you could just give us a little bit about each. Mary Kay?
I'm Mary Kay Magistad. I'm based in Beijing for the BBC Public Radio International program The World, and I cover the region from there. I've been in East Asia for about 20 years, so the wars I've been covering have been Cambodia, the ethnic minorities in Burma, coups in Thailand and Cambodia, unrest in Indonesia when Suharto was overthrown.
Yeah. Okay.
My name is Cedrell. I'm Swedish. I'm based in Baghdad, covering Middle East, mostly, in Africa too. So recently I came just now over to a studio from Baghdad.
Can't get enough of it, huh? Peter.
I'm Peter Arnett. I spent a lifetime being a war reporter. Currently I'm a professor at the Shantou University School of Journalism. We are responsible for bringing all these folks to Hong Kong and to Shantou, which I believe is the first war correspondents conference we've had in mainland China.
David.
My name's Dave Marash. I'm an anchor or presenter for Al Jazeera English in Washington, and never wanted to be a war correspondent, but such are the wars of our time that my desire to be a post-war correspondent was a lesson that what we call post-war often might as well be war.
Welcome to Hong Kong, Tom.
Well, Phil, I jump-started my career in journalism right here at Radio Hong Kong and the China Mail newspaper. And it was a great couple of years. I covered everything and anything. It was a marvelous experience. Then I went to Vietnam, got involved with people like Peter Arnett and joined the ABC network. And later went to the Middle East and switched networks to NBC and became more interested actually in the Middle East. Now I'm independent. I produce documentaries that nobody is interested in buying except I like making them.
You're more.
Well, good. So if you have any questions for any of my guests this morning, go to the website rthk.org.hk and just type it on down on our discussion board. David, we had a little bit of a chat yesterday, and something that really grabbed me about one of your theories reminded me very much of Joan Littlewood's play Oh, What a Lovely War. You know, the MC comes on and he introduces the ever-popular war game, and they proceed to do that, and never was more irony seen on one small stage. But it seems to me
it has to do with this.
People are dangerous, but to my mind, what has really transformed the universe is, of course, the Internet. And one of its transformations is, in olden days, both sides in a war had an interest in protecting journalists because we were not just the gatekeepers, we were the gateway to get their ideas and their version of reality to a wider world. With the Internet, frankly, these people don't need us anymore, and this and the Islamic universe,
got the machine
I
sitting
think
standby
anyone who has watched Al Jazeera English would conclude that far from the mouthpiece of terrorists, we are a straight-up news organization with entirely professional standards and ethics comparable to any other brand-name news organization you can name, but with a slightly different orientation, and that is that much of our news comes from and is reported by people from the notional South.
You got it. Message received there. But everybody, this reality TV show, never more dangerous. What do you think?
Let me jump in with a point that Al Jazeera, indeed, I think has made a major contribution to the dissemination of news to an international audience. But an element that is entered along with Al Jazeera and other Arab news organizations like Al Arabiya, the emergence of international news organizations out of Turkey and elsewhere have been the competition in the media. So you have more and more journalists taking risks to get the story because they need to get an audience, they need to get advertising. So in the first Gulf War, I was the only correspondent reporting out of Baghdad live for CNN. In the second Gulf War, I was one of 40 teams reporting live out of Baghdad. Consequently, more reporters taking more risks, more casualties.
I would just contribute with that. Today, with little camera and little mobile, you are a reporter on the street.
Right. Anybody's
So
a reporter.
everybody's a reporter. So,
Well, one small positive change that's happened for people who aren't just going out on their own with their own cameras is that I think editors and news organizations have started to officially recognize the risks and are sort of as a regular mechanism sending their reporters for training to find out, what they do if they come to a hostile checkpoint, if they're in a minefield, if they're kidnapped.
Yes.
The program I work for the BBC requires its reporters to go through this training every 3 or 4 years.
Yes. Don, anything you want to chuck in there?
It certainly is more dangerous. Compared to Vietnam, after 20 years of Vietnam, I believe the figure was 71 journalists killed. Now, after only 4.5 years in Iraq, there have been 124 journalists killed.
excuse me, 340 yesterday was a lot, including Iraqi journalists too.
Is that
340 journalists was
this
the
is
call.
foreign journalists, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. But yes, it is very much more dangerous now, and the military isn't helping us very much. Certainly, being embedded is much safer. Fewer are killed being embedded, but the rules are different too. Peter and I remember the incredible days of reporting in Vietnam, where you could go anywhere, talk to anybody, had amazing access. But this has all changed, and my friends reporting from Iraq now call it putting lipstick on a pig. The United States military, and certainly NATO forces in Afghanistan, are trying to spin those wars as much as they can to sway public opinion to support it at home. And it's making it very difficult to get to the truth of what's happening.
Is the type of journalism we're now seeing, the all singing, all dancing instant, is the root of that Vietnam? Because you probably may have seen this article from the Social Science Journal, and he mentions